All right, now it's time to do Lesson 7. Lesson 7 is all about indirect objects. It says an indirect object is a noun or pronoun located between the action verb and a direct object. It receives the direct object and answers the question to whom, for whom, to what, for what. Indirect objects can be compound. If you have a highlighter, it might be a good idea to highlight the word indirect object and the questions that it answers. To whom, for whom, what, to what, for what. So let's take a look at some of the examples. We're going to call indirect objects IOs and direct objects DOs. It says, Mother assigned me the task of washing windows. Don't forget, we're always going to look for our subject first. Who are we talking about? Mother. Then we're going to look for the verb. What did she do? The subject did what? Assigned. There's my verb. I'm going to underline my verb. Assigned what? The task. To whom? Me. That's the indirect object. Take a look at the next sentence. Mr. Rowland showed Scott and Darren his collection of model train cars. Mr. Rowland, that's the subject. What did he do? Where's my verb? Showed. Showed who? Showed Scott. There's an indirect object. Darren. There's another indirect object. Showed them what? Collection. That's my direct object. So whenever I ask myself these questions, I'm able to find the subject, the verb, the indirect object, and the direct object. Number 1, it says underline the verbs and circle the direct objects. Put parentheses around the indirect objects. Number 1, the ravens brought Elijah bread and meat. So first of all, I want to underline the verbs. What do the ravens do? If you underline the word brought, then you found the verb. Brought who? Oh, you found Elijah. Elijah is the who. Brought who what? Oh, what is the direct object question? So I'm going to circle the direct objects. I hope you circled bread and circled meat. So in your sentence, it should look like this. You've underlined brought, you've put in parentheses Elijah, you've circled bread, you've circled meat. Let's take a look at number 2. Hand me the fly swatter. Oh, we've got a good command. Don't forget, whenever we have a command, the subject is always the understood you. Who needs to hand me? You need to hand it to me. So number 2, hand me the fly swatter. So what's my verb that I underline? Hand. Hand what? Oh, the fly swatter. That's my direct object. I'm going to put, it says circle the direct object. So I'm going to circle fly swatter. Hand the fly swatter to whom? Hand me the fly swatter. So here's my subject is the understood you. My verb is hand. Hand who? Hand me the indirect object. Hand me what? That's always my direct object question. The fly swatter. Number 3. Jason built Buster a new doghouse last week. My subject is Jason. That's who I'm talking about. I'm looking for my verb now to underline. My verb is built. Built who? Who is an indirect object question. Buster. Put Buster in parentheses. That's our indirect object question. Built what? Doghouse. That's my direct object, and it wanted me to circle it. Number 4, go ahead, ask me any question, boasted Mike. So again, this is a command. You ask me any question. So where's my verb? Where's my verb? Ask. Ask is the verb. I'm going to go ahead and underline ask. To whom am I asking? Who am I asking here? Ask me. Ask me what? Question. At this point, I hope we're really getting used to finding our verb, saying to whom, and then asking what. To whom answers the indirect object question. What answers the direct object question. Number 5. Lynn taught Erica and Melissa the art of calligraphy. Lynn is my subject. What did she do? Where's my verb? Taught. Taught who? Melissa and Erica. There's 2 of them this time. Go ahead and put those in parentheses. Don't get any of the small little words in there. What did she teach them? The art of calligraphy. So really, if we're only looking for one noun in there, it would be art of calligraphy, but really I would focus it down to art and use of calligraphy as a prepositional phrase. Teach what? Art. Number 6, grandmother gives each of her grandchildren money for a graduation gift. So grandmother's a subject, but what does she do? Where's my verb? Did you underline gives? That's what she does. There's my action verb. Who does she give to? The indirect object question. I hope you put grandchildren. What did she give them? What is the direct object question? Money. Circle money. So there you have 1 through 6 right there. When it comes time for defining the indirect object, I hope you flip right back here and it gives the definition. An indirect object is a noun or pronoun located between the action verb and the direct object. There's a pattern, isn't there? It looks like the indirect object is always before the direct object. There's a saying, there's never an IO without a DO. You need the direct object in order to know to whom or for what you're giving it to. So when it comes to diagramming indirect objects, let's take a look at the example here. Mrs. Lance offered us fresh lemonade. I want to know what my subject is. If you said Mrs. Lance, you are correct. Mrs. Lance. I want to know what my verb is. What did she do? Here's my verb, offered. So my subject goes here, my verb goes here, my IO is going to go right after it, followed by my DO. I hope I put enough space. Mrs. Lawrence offered who? Offered us. Offered us what? Lemonade. Lemonade. Oh, I'm going to have to break it up there because I ran out of space. What kind of lemonade? This is an adjective question, so I'm going to put it under the modified word of lemonade. If it describes lemonade, it's an adjective. What kind? Fresh lemonade. There's my adjective. So when I diagram my sentences, it should always look like the subject, and then there's a line that goes all the way through, my verb, my indirect object, followed by my direct object. And these little lines are straight up and down, but they don't go all the way through. And this is the sentence pattern, the SVT, which is a verb transitive, Indirect object, direct object. The next one that you see there, number 10, it looks like it's offering you a little bit of diagramming help. Let's go ahead and see what you come up with, but I will help you out just a little bit more. Let's see if I could break this up. We should throw Jolene and Teresa a surprise birthday party. So, here's my hint. Here's my subject. Who is this sentence about? What is my verb or verb phrase? It's a verb phrase. 2 words right here. Verb phrase. I'm going to write that down. Verb phrase. I want the actual word in here, or words. Then I asked her the question, throw who? Now, right next to it, I should have an indirect object, right? So my indirect object is going to go down here. Boop, 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 boop. My indirect object will go right here. There's 2 of them. My direct object will go right here. Any words that modify that direct object will hang down. I hope that is helpful to you. All right, let's see how you do. We'll find out on Tuesday. Bye.